Hey guys, welcome back. This is Nod Lammers of Invoked 101, and today we're going to be taking a look at our Super Quant deck profile. This has changed a little bit since the last time you guys have seen it, so I figured I might as well show it off as well. Going into, as we are going into, October's a bit of an off season with the ban list and updating a few things. I figured some stability in the form of stuff like Super Quants might be nice. Now, there is a card that I haven't added to this, which would be Monster Gate. I do think Monster Gate could be really cool with Super Quants, as especially if you open up Red Layer, as that will give you an extra summon. But you know, it's a tech card that it's not in my profile, but if you feel like adding it, I think it definitely could be a cool tech choice. Anyways, with that out of the way, down in the description there's a link to our Patreon, so if you feel like getting yourself one of these awesome Invoked 101 mats, there's a tier that you can do that'll get you one of these, or you can message us on Instagram and we can hook that up for you. There's also a link to our Teespring, so if you feel like getting yourself an Invoked 101 t-shirt, sticker, sweatshirt, whatever else we got going on there, that's where to do it. With that out of the way, I'm going to set the extra deck and the spells and traps off to the side, and we'll get right into the main deck monsters. Now, excuse me if the camera's a little weird. I am using a different tripod today. We got a new tripod, so I'm trying that one out for this video. To start us off, we have triple Super Quantum Red Layer. This guy is awesome. He is your kind of like a Terror Top for the deck. On normal or special summon, he gets to pick up a Super Quant. Is it Super Quant or Super Quantum? Super Quant card in the graveyard and add it to your hand. And then there's also, if he's sent to the graveyard, he gets to special summon a Super Quant monster from the graveyard but negate its effects. Alongside that, if you control no monsters, you get to special summon this guy from the hand. So pretty dope. Then we also have triple Super Quantum Green Layer. On normal or special summon, he gets to special summon another Super Quant monster from the hand. And then he also has the effect of when he's sent to the graveyard, you get to discard a Super Quant card and draw one card. So this actually made me build a variant. If you guys remember, like forever ago, there was my Super Quant Spellcaster variant where a lot of people only played 2 of this guy. I was playing 3. This was before White Layer, and he was like the main reason in like Spellbook of Knowledge because it let you like draw 3. It was really cool. After that, we have triple Super Quantum Blue Layer. This is your Stratos for the deck. It adds any Super Quant card from the deck to the hand on normal or special summon, and then when it's sent to graveyard, you get to target 3 Super Quant cards in your graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck. I do wish it gave you a draw 1 off of it, but I get why it doesn't. And the last Power Ranger, but hopefully not the last one we ever get, is a Super Quant White Layer. So White Layer is really cool. You can discard 1 non-light Super Quant to special summon it, and then on normal or special summon, you can send 1 Super Quant monster that isn't 1 Super Quantum from your deck to the graveyard, and this guy copies its level and attribute, which is really cool. And then when he's sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Super Quantal Fairy Alphon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So this guy's really good. Also, his Megazord is really good as well. I guess it would just be a Zord. The Megazord is the combined one, ain't it? Then I'm playing triple Fairy. Fairy is really cool. It lets you change all your Super Quant cards, or I think it's all monsters you control, it's one of those 2, to be the same level as 1 monster, as 1 Super Quant you control, which is really cool for XZ summoning. It also has the effect to tribute itself, and then reveal 3 Super Quant monsters from your main deck to your opponent, and your opponent randomly picks 1 for you to special summon and send the other 2 to the graveyard. So this guy does awesome setup. Really good overall. And that's it for the Power Ranger stuff. That's it for the Super Quants. Very cool, this deck is so much fun. Like, these guys have so much spam capability that it's insane. So yeah, very fun little package right there. Alongside that, we also have some hand traps. We have 3 Ash Blossom. This is the Foot Blossom artwork because these are the ones that I had sitting in the binder. So I figured I'd use these ones up, especially in a deck that kind of I don't play as much as I would like to. I would honestly love it to play Super Quants so much more, but I just haven't had time to play them at different events. But yeah, so 3 Ash and then triple Veiler just for some hand trap stuff. Veiler's really good. It's just always been good this format, and Ash is of course moving back into the format with Orcus being gone, or Orcus taking a bit of a hit and some other stuff moving in that is also susceptible to Ash. So That's it for the main deck monsters. Pretty standard stuff. Just play 3 of every Super Quant monster. Real talk. All the Super Quants are really good, actually. So moving into the spells, we have triple of their field spell. This is kind of what, this card's kind of insane. It lets you Zodiac any of your Super Quant monsters. So for a discard cost, you can discard 1 card, target a Super Quant you control, and make it its Zord. You just get to slap its Xyz monster on top of it, which is pretty cool. And then it has another effect where you can send this card to the graveyard, special summon the rank 12 Great Magnus, and then attach 3 different Super Quantal Xyz monsters to it from field or graveyard. And if they have Xyz materials, they go with the monster under Great Magnus. The catch is that because it special summons Great Magnus first before attaching, it doesn't like you have to have an open link monster zone effectively to summon Great Magnus. Which took me a while to remember, but at the sneak peek, that was one of the things that won me the games, is being able to, what I would do is I'd make like a link monster, not the link monster, the Xyz monster, and then I'd link away the Xyz, so that way I'd still be able to make 2 more, and then I would make Great Magnus using this. So that's how it's done. Then we have triple Super Quantal Alphencall. So this guy is really cool. And in the background, it shows all the old ones, the red, green, and blue kind of getting they're all beat up, and then the White Ranger shows up to save the day, because of course, you know, you got to have the White Ranger Season 2 type stuff. You know. Oh, sorry. I got a little excited. Its effect is if a Super Quant monster you control is destroyed by battle, special summon 1 Super Quantal Mech Beast Xyz monster from your extra deck. Then you can special summon 1 Super Quantum monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard that is specifically listed on that Xyz monster in its text, but negate its effects. You can only activate 1 Alphen Appeal. Sorry, it's not Alphencall Appeal per turn. Sorry. And when it was first revealed, there was just Super Quantum Alphencall, and then they added Appeal to it. So. Whoops. Then I'm only playing 1 Alphenspike. This is a kind of cool card, and it won me a game against True Draco like the last time I played it. This card's awesome. It's really cool, and like if you're playing against like Monarch or other decks that just don't use extra decks, or stuff that doesn't really have any strong extra deck monsters, like I think like a lot of the time the biggest thing that you have to out is like a Boral Sword, which there's a card in the extra deck that we play specifically to out that Boral Sword. So what this card does, it says if you control 3 or more Super Quantum monsters with different names, shuffle as many cards your opponent controls as possible into the deck, then your opponent special summons 1 monster from their extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So basically it's like setting up for the big finale fight. And then it says, you can banish this card and 1 Super Quantal Fairy Alphen from your graveyard, activate 1 Super Quantal Mech Ship Magna Carrier from your deck, which is the field spell. So this card is really cool. Immediately activates your field spell, and also can just let you set up to OTK your opponent. But we're only playing 1 because it's not necessarily the greatest thing, because you're not always certain what your opponent has in their extra deck. To go along with that, the rest of these are 1-ofs. We're playing 1 Foolish Burial of Goods to send that. Then we're playing 1 for 1 to summon the bunny. 1 Terraforming to get to the field spell, although as often as I've drawn into that field spell, I'm thinking of cutting Terraforming. 1 E-Telly for the Blue Layer, because summoning Blue Layer off this is amazing, just a free search. And then 1 Monster Reborn to keep plays going. I really do wish Super Quants had their own built-in Monster Reborn. Like, if Super Quants could get like a speed recovery, then I think the deck could actually do some damage. But yeah, that's it for the spell cards. Yeah, that's all the spell cards we play. Then moving into the traps, I play 1 Super Quantal Mech Sword Magna Slayer. This card is really cool. So it says, target 1 Super Quant Xyz monster you control, equip it with this card. It gains attack equal to its rank times, is that 200 or 100? Times 100. And if it attacks the defense position monster, inflict piercing. Then you can send this card from your field to the graveyard, and the monster can attack, can make 3 attacks during this battle phase. So that's like, it's insane. It's actually a crazy card. Then we have the continuous trap, Super Quantal Union Magna Formation, which says your opponent cannot target Super Quant cards on the field with card effects during your main phase 1, which is really cool. So basically it says no effect Veiler. I'm getting to my battle phase. And it says you can target one Super Quant Xyz monster you control, attach one other face-up monster you control to it as material. You can only use this effect of Super Quantal Union Magna formation once per turn. So this lets you reload your Great Magnus as well, which is pretty cool. Then I'm playing double Lost Wind just to weaken some stuff, because like I said, this is a bit of an OTK deck. Lost Wind is really cool because you just get to shrink one of your opponent's monsters by half, and then you know, it comes back and resets itself, which is pretty nice. I play one Crackdown. This is an Xyz deck, and it can link with just about everything. Because their link monster is like semi-generic, it just requires at least one Super Quant monster. So being able to crack down one of your opponent's things and just link it away for your own monster or Beat Cop is pretty awesome. And then I play a small Solemn package in the form of Solemn Warning and double Solemn Strike just to round out the traps. This is just some negates, as the deck doesn't really produce any negates aside from I'm going to sit on Great Magnus and see what happens, although he's not really a negate. And that's it for the main deck. We've moved outside of main deck territory. Moving into the extra deck, I've been mentioning him a lot, so there he is. There's Great Magnus himself, the big unaffected boy who can spin stuff non-targeting. And so he's like the best boss monsters of 2014 combined into one. He's just unaffected, your opponent can't search stuff, and he's also like a mini tiramisu, so he's pretty awesome. And then we have two of each of the other guys. We have two of the MST, two of the Book of Moon, and two of the Regeki Break. So pops a card, flips down a monster, and pops a back row. Or I think this one pops a monster, yeah. And then we also have two Effect Veiler in the form of this guy, which is pretty cool. That's it, that's really it. And so these guys can, once per turn, you can attach. They all have another effect, which is, except for Great Magnus, he doesn't have this. But all the little ones have the effect of once per turn, you can attach one Super Quant card from your hand or field to it as one Super Quant monster from hand or field to it as Xyz material. And if they have their respective ranger under them, they become quick effects. So if like this one has the red one, it's quick, green, blue, white, quick. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. It's a different mechanic that I actually really like about these guys. They also, if they don't have Xyz material, they cannot declare attacks, which is pretty strange. Going into the links, because we don't play anything else other than the Xyz guys in the links. Two Super Quantal Mech King Blaster Magna. This guy is the Great Magnus, but combined with the white dinosaur. Link 3, pretty awesome. Every time you Xyz summon a different attribute under him, you get a draw card, which is pretty dope. And then he has 2,500, and he's unaffected by like, or can't be targeted by, what is it? He can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects, which is pretty cool. And then if an Xyz monster dies under him, you can summon a Super Quant monster from your deck with a different attribute than that destroyed Xyz monster. So he does a lot for the deck. He's really good. Then I play one Beat Cop. This is to, because he needs effect monsters and other stuff in the extra deck needs effect monsters, I went with Beat Cop. This could also be Lambda if you have a Lambda. And then the last link 2 we play is Nightmare Cerberus. This could also be Phoenix. I honestly would prefer it if it was Phoenix. I just couldn't find another Phoenix before the deck profile, so I went with that. And like I said, we do play a card to out that one boss monster that the opponent summons. This is Borreload, of course. Why would we not play Borreload to link? So we already have 3 Super Quants on board, right? And then we activate Alphenspike, we send their thing back, we link, and most likely we have Red Layer. So what we'll do is we'll link 2 of them away for Beat Cop. Red Layer will summon back another one. So there you have a link 2 and 2 more monsters on board minimum. So then you'll link Beat Cop with the other 2, make this, and then you'll just OTK them with their own stuff. Or not necessarily OTK them with their own stuff, but you can take their big boss monster with the Borreload. And lastly, we have Saryuja Skulldread. Because this deck does spit out a bunch of different monsters really quickly, being able to make Saryuja and then continue your plays by special summoning and drawing 4 and all that good stuff that Saryuja does is really nice. So it's good to have him in there. Although if you were to cut one card, honestly, it would probably be Saryuja. But yeah, with that out of the way, that's it for Super Quants. That's it for the deck. You can play side deck stuff, generic, like Artifact Scythe is really good in this deck. Lancia, just stuff that's good against the meta. It doesn't really have anything that is necessarily like because you can side out stuff like the Magna Slayer and the Magna Formations. There's tons of side out options. Like I said, I think Monster Gate might even be a good option in this deck if you feel like doing something like that. So yeah. Super Quants are one of those decks that I built a long time ago, like before Master Rule 3, or not before Master Rule 3, in Master Rule 3, and then I built them again like once Lynx came out, once Sarjuja came out, really. And then I was like, but they can't do enough. And I thought I had a decent deck back then, but once this stuff came out, I was like, oh my god, so good. So but this deck is really fun. It's a great little casual deck, and the only thing that it really has an issue with is some consistency. Like legit, if you could just like guarantee yourself a red layer every opening hand, you'd probably be fine. Which is why they need like a Roto or like a speed recovery or something. But yeah, it's a good deck overall. Anyways, tell me what you guys thought about Super Quants down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this super awesome deck. And while you're down there, feel free to check out the description. Like I said, there's a link to our Patreon and our Teespring in there. So if you feel like getting yourself any Invoked 101 merch, that's where to do it. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.